Welcome to the Dirt Life Show with your host, George Hamill.
Yeah. Welcome, everybody, to the Dirt Life Show, episode 153. We are at, what do you call your place, Mark? Butcher compound?
Yeah, Butcher's Den.
Butcher's Den. We're at the Butcher's Den. Well, I'd like to call it the home of the Hooligans as well. But my name is Georgie Hamill. Welcome to the Dirt Life Show. Today we're going to talk with some awesome people, super gnarly dudes, actually, about the Mint 400 and these Harley Davidson V-twins that they convert into dirt bikes. So I'd like to welcome Mark Adkins.
Hey, how you
Rusty
doing?
Butcher to the show. James Hill, dude, we always see you. What's
Yes,
up,
sir.
dude? IMG Motorsports, and then we got a bunch of dudes waiting in the background. I don't know if you guys can see on Instagram, but you can see on Facebook and YouTube all the guys in the background. Goodtimes Racing. We got Rich
party.
Silva. Yep. Let me see here. We got Rich Silva. Chris Meyer's going to come on from Maxis. We got Noah Tedesco and Joey Elms. Tonight's show is going to be badass, man. I can't wait to talk about all this stuff. The things that I wanted to talk about, like I said, were that these dudes are gnarly. 450 pounds of motorcycle is going to be used in the dirt. Can you believe that? And if you guys looked at our Instagram, you saw Mark taking a rip on James' new bike, just breaking it in for him.
Yep, that was. Only a couple parts fell off.
Yeah. I left to get pizza and then it got ridden.
I like to build everyone's bike, so I know that they're not going to finish the Mint, and I have a better advantage.
It's a huge competitive advantage, right? Pretty cool, though, man. Who came up with this idea? Like, I want to start talking about the idea and like how this all came about, because honestly, man, it's fucking gnarly.
Oh man, that's a long answer. I guess the short end of it, me and a guy who used to race for me, who's one of my best friends, Mikey Virus. We used to just ride Sportsters in the hills a lot and jump them and build jumps and try to like huck as many jumps at this place called.
Where did this harebrained idea come from?
Quite honestly, I lost my last company. I got sued out of it, and I literally had no money, so I had to sell off.
Put the mic as close to your mouth as possible.
I had to sell off everything I owned, and I kept one bike, and it was a Sportster, and I decided to make it into a dirt bike.
Dude.
Because I was bored.
Necessity is the mother of invention, right?
Yeah, and it worked well. You know, I destroyed my entire body, but here I am, I guess.
That's the way it works. So now you're just building one for James so he can do the same thing, or what?
Yeah, I also have this good idea where I don't make any money because I build my friends' bikes for free.
Just waste your time building your friends' bikes.
110%.
That's so awesome.
It works out pretty good.
But like at
it.
least in the pits, I can hang out with my friends.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
they can annoy me in the pits and in my own shop for free.
All right, so I want to give a little bit more of a backstory, but like let's give a baseline to the audience and to the listeners that are going to listen to the podcast later too. Is that you've raced the Mint 400 3 times on a hooligan bike?
3 or 4, I forget. Yeah.
And you finished it how many?
Once.
Dude.
3 times. So, I raced it 3 times. I finished once. 3rd time the charm.
Whew.
And my last Mint finish was interesting to say the least.
Yeah, I can only imagine, dude. So, like, what's the gnarliest part about it? I mean, like, first of all, just riding a 450-pound bike in the desert is fucking gnarly, but...
Well, the off-road Sportster thing's so fun because it's like you jump 20 feet on a Sportster and it feels like the craziest thing you've ever done in your life.
It feels like a Supercross triple.
Yeah, it's like way gnarly, and like no one cares if you jump a triple on a dirt bike.
Yeah.
So when I jumped at 20 feet on a Sportster, it was like this big thing. I always made fun of my dad for desert racing and desert riding because I grew up as a track kid.
Yeah.
Desert racing is probably one of the gnarliest things I've ever tried to do.
Dude, it's pretty sick, though, that you guys...
It's scary.
Yeah, and so what do you think, James, like after hearing all these stories?
So the first year they brought bikes recently back to the Mint was 2019, I believe. And we went, I raced dual sport because I'm like, dude, they're bringing bikes back. I want to be involved, right? Stepped off the side-by-side thing, raced the dual sport. Mark was there with a handful of other guys. Mikey was there. We basically finished the dual sport race, or I think what we did was we were pitting. I got off the bike, gave the bike to somebody else, whoever was partnered with me that year. And these guys are rolling into the pit a few minutes later. And I'm like, that is the gnarliest thing I've ever seen, right? Like it just seems stupid, first off, which I love stupid. So you're like, right. Like that looks, if it looks dumb and impossible, like I'm like, how do we do that? Right.
Yeah.
So that's pretty gnarly.
And, well, and then second, like we were talking about it before the show, you come up with this harebrained idea. You're like, okay, cool. I'm going to do it. I don't want to race a side-by-side this year. I want to, team up with Mark and do it. And you guys built one of the bikes that we have behind us, your new Sportster,
Right.
in basically a week. Well,
couple.
We worked on it 3.5 times.
Yeah.
3.5 days.
Right. So just like everything else,
Dude.
like if you had all the parts here in the shop, right, or if Mark had them, he knows what to do. It's a streamlined process for him.
If James actually ordered the stuff on time when
Correct.
I told him, it would have worked out in maybe a day.
Yeah,
so yeah, you can just take them out on the track.
it's true.
No, I am. I built the bike, so I already know what's,
Yeah.
clutch
Dude.
cable is going to snap 1 hour into the ride.
Yeah.
A big, huge competitive advantage, dude.
If that actually happens, though, I didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, so first of all, like, it's all lighthearted and good moods around here. But like, that's kind of the whole vibe of the deal, right? Like, I always like to think about it in the same aspect, like, to race Baja, that started as something fun. The dudes are just like, fuck, we'll go from end to end on the peninsula and we'll see how fast we can get there. Just figure it out. So
Right.
that started just on a whim. The Mint 400 started just on a whim. And then you guys are kind of breeding this whole new genre of motorcycle racing and riding in the desert as well. Like, to me, it's pretty sick.
Yeah, this is like, I guess, how I get people like James involved. He called me, I get him to do these stupid ideas. The dudes at Heatwave Visual called me one day and they're like, hey, would you like to race the Mint 400? And I'm like, first off, what's the Mint 400? Which is dumb. I should have known what that was, but they asked me to race it, and they're not even racing the Mint anymore. Like, they did the first couple years, and now they're out because they know how hard it is to race this thing. It's physically
It's so gnarly.
Like, I think the last year there was like a 14-mile like sand whoop section that just like completely annihilated my back. And you have to roll everything on a Sportster. You cannot blitz whoops. You cannot double them. Like, every now and then you can kind of get your wheel over one, but there's just like endless
So
sand whoops.
explain that a little bit. Like, James was saying, like, on the dual sport, right? Or you got an enduro bike. Like, there's a massive difference because that's under 200 pounds or 240
250.
pounds.
There's like
250
what the
pounds,
dual
right?
sport
Like,
is.
and then so that you can lean back and you can just smash, right? But like on these things, there's no way.
No, that's how you yard sell. That's like, people come in real. I've tried to calm him down because he's actually pretty damn fast. You can't ride over your head, and you can't ride it like you're riding a dirt bike. The weight will check you in 2 seconds, and once that thing starts going, it's swapping. And it's definitely something to get used to. I always tell everyone. They all looked at me in the beginning of the Mint. There's probably about 20 dudes lined up that we got to race the Mint the first couple years, and I go, man, your guys' main goal is to finish this thing. And they like looked at me crazy. I'm like, but 20 dudes race them in on a Sportster, and 4, maybe 5 finish
Seriously?
every time.
Is that because bike problems or just because
Oh, just-
dudes can't handle it?
Everything. All of the above. Bike problems. Like, the first Mint, I had electrical issues. I had saddlebags and literally just put too much weight on a fender and ripped out a bunch of wiring. So I was chasing that. I finished 1 lap out of the 2. That was a longer loop. I think they were
Dude.
about 80 miles.
Whiskey just logged on too. What's up, David? Yeah, like, dude, that just seems so gnarly to me. Like, okay, so track kids, right? We all grew up at the track and stuff like that. Like, getting arm pump and like getting tired. I mean, that can happen in a couple laps. Like, we're talking, the couple laps is like the first 3 corners of the Mint 400.
Oh, yeah. So riding just on the dirt bike course of it leading out to the Mint, there's like a mini, I don't know, what is it, like a mile long?
Infield?
Yeah, like an
Right.
infield. Like, you already have arm pump by the time you leave that. And if you're smart, like my other racer, Noah, there's like it was tricky, but like you take off like on the line and there was like this hump. And like, if you looked ahead, it just looked like a little couple feet,
Yeah.
but no one told us on the other end of that it was like an 8-foot drop. And Noah sent his bike completely nosedived, like literally almost endoed, and then smashed his hand through the handguards and literally almost broke his hand.
Oh, shit.
And that's within the
On the
first,
infield?
that's like the first 20 feet of the race.
Dude, that's
Didn't a
wild.
few people just straight off that thing?
Just weeded it, yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
you better like go at least check out the infield before you get out in the desert so you don't wad, or just hit it full throttle.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I luckily couldn't jump a Harley a little bit, but I like kind of launched off of it, and I realized I was going forward, and on a Harley, the only safe way to land is on the back wheel with the throttle wide open.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're not moving the bike like you would a typical dirt bike. Like, that's not the way that the gyro or the mass works on a Harley, right?
It's a little bit, but the only safe way to land on jumping a Harley is back wheel throttle on.
So
you can't land even, because if you land even, it's all the weights.
Oh my God, that hurts my back just fucking thinking about it.
Yeah.
This is great because I know nothing right now.
Dude, you're learning so much right
now.
now.
To hear these things.
So
because Mark was like, here's the other thing, is I've gone on plenty of dual sport rides where Mark is on one of the Harleys, and we're in ravines or whatever we're out in the hills, and he rides it like a normal dirt bike. So I'm just like, it's going to be like a dirt bike.
I tell everyone, man, if you want to be decent off-roading a Harley, it's all seat time. And I probably have the most dirt miles on a Harley than I would say majority of the people out in the world.
Dude, well, first of all, dirt miles on a Harley, that's like not regular.
Yeah, but street miles, you'll get killed quicker, so.
I don't disagree with that statement, actually.
Yeah, Harley in the dirt?
So for our audience, Dougie just asked the question, how many miles do you have on the dirt on a Harley, James?
I've got 2 loops around the shop.
You did ride my bike once, though.
I did.
So you've got 0.69 close to miles.
It's very minimal.
If we're giving it like a little bit extra, for sure.
Yeah.
Dude, that's... So you're just going to go... Are you going to practice it all before you go?
Yeah.
Tomorrow, right?
Whenever.
All right.
You got to get some
I'm riding all weekend, but we got a couple things we got to figure out.
Okay, yeah, I know. It needs a little bit of jetting. It needs to be fine-tuned a little bit.
This is where I get the upper hand on winning.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, so let me thank the sponsors real quick, and then I want to get into like how the bikes are built, what the differences are real quick. So you guys can always share the show. Hit us up in the DMs on Instagram and stuff. Obviously, follow all the guys that we tagged in our stories so you can watch these guys shred at the Mint 400 as well. Thanks to all the companies that sponsor us, KMC Wheels, Maxxis Tires, Motul, Shock Therapy, JL Audio, Evolution Power Sports, Zolander Racing Products, Shock Therapy, Vision Canopies, and Cryo Heat. A lot of those guys will actually be out at the Mint, like actually helping. And so if you guys come out there and see them, check out these fucking bikes and, dude, have some fun. Talk to these dudes because they're fucking crazy.
Yeah, I'm the guy with the green hair, apparently.
You got green hair under there?
Yeah, I'm easy to spot.
Okay, cool.
It's for marketing.
Perfect. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the way what's the differences with a normal Sportster that you'd buy off the showroom floor or from your buddy on eBay, or what you have built behind us here. And we can talk to Rich about his bike a little later too.
So every good hooligan bike is basically the same platform. Rich's bike, my bike, and every other bike I own is based off of. I typically stay 2000 to 2003, but like a 92 to 2003 Sportster is kind of my go-to thing. Stock bike weight is about 500 pounds, and I take that bike and I just completely strip off everything that has to do with it being a Sportster. I take the frame, motor, swing arm, and then build everything from there.
How much does it actually end up weighing then?
I think mine are a bit on the lighter side. I probably got a bit more shit into mine than most, so they're probably about 430.
Dude, that's so gnarly though, man.
Yeah. And I have like probably one of the nicer setups.
So 430 pounds riding around, like how does that feel going through a corner?
Like just terrible, the worst. Like this isn't a good idea, like at all. I always tell everyone it's more about the like you can tell everyone you did it at the end of the day rather than like it being like, oh yeah, it's a great performance bike, because it's not. Like I have the best suspension that we could do. Race Tech dialed in everything. We've worked with them for years trying to tweak these settings in for the heavy bikes for my heavy ass belly, and like it's still not the best.
Yeah, but I mean that's as much as you can do though, right?
Oh yeah, I think the last bikes I built were the best case scenario to where you start bending the rules, which I obviously involved with the Mint and everything for creating the rule set. So I don't want people to go to monoshock or do anything like that, because then it becomes like who can fab the best rather than like I like the class being like it all. It's everything on my bike's bolt on.
Yeah, just keep it limited and like just keep it gnarly, right? All right, so we got Chris Meyer from Maxxis Tires. His kid's in the background as well. What's up, Chris? How are you?
What's up, guys? How are y'all doing?
Good,
man.
Good.
So We can barely hear you, but dude, these guys are so gnarly.
Every time. Yeah. It's pretty bananas to see, and I liked what one of them just said. Basically, this isn't a good idea.
No,
Right?
terrible. We're definitely a group of people with bad ideas.
It's wild to understand, though, right? Like, have you?
Yeah.
So, Chris, you grew up as a track kid, like what Mark was just talking about at the beginning of the show, too, racing dirt bikes and stuff. Would you even consider racing one of these bad boys? And let alone at the Mint 400?
At the Mint? No.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'd need to ride. I probably could be talked into it.
Is that the way like, every conversation goes?
Literally every time I've ever been talked into
That's how they
anything.
go, right?
Yeah.
No. All right, maybe.
Yeah. That's literally a conversation that happened with me with the Heat Wave dudes. They explained what they wanted to do, and I was like, you want me to race this thing how far? Like, I ride to Starbucks on back on a Harley, like... Yeah,
that's exactly what I was thinking, man. It looks like Chris ended up dropping off. His kid probably pressed a button or something, but somebody just killed the internet, I think.
We're back. We're not back.
I don't know.
I think somebody killed the internet.
So no one's here. I think you killed it.
Maybe.
Let me go check real quick.
Does anyone have a copy? Someone call Doug. If you can hear us, call Doug.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Trust your cell phone. Rusty Butcher internet is not doing that good. Dougie, what do you think about what's going on here?
Oh, just a bunch of, hooligan desert racers, doing their thing. It's pretty much regular scheduled programming over here.
Pretty much, right? All right, James. So these bikes, give us a little bit of a breakdown.
So I'm pretty new to this, but they're Sportster chassis.
After Mark's done calling cocks over there for the internet.
Holy cow.
All right. So give us a little bit of a breakdown.
So these things, Sportster frame, chassis frame, Sportster engine. Mine's a 1200. I don't know what this one is. Mark's is 883 bottom.
How about we do this? You give us a breakdown of yours.
All right.
And then Rich give us a breakdown of what do you guys call that bad boy?
Baja.
Harley. And then Mark will give us a little bit of a breakdown of his. All right.
All right. So here we go. 92 Sportster, 1200. Modified, foot peg mounts. Something like that. Honda 450X front end.
With the gold pro tapers.
Wheel. Gold pro tapers.
I got corrected earlier. They're orange.
They're gold. Straight up.
Bro, if you bought a gold chain and it looked that color, you'd be pissed.
They're gold.
Moto chain.
Yeah, one of Mark's chains. I don't know what brand that is. Race Tech rear shocks, custom built. We actually had those sprung for 190 pounds since I am a dad. On top of that, we got the 18-inch rear, just like the Dual Sport. So, as much as I like to say, like I'm used to the 18-inch on the dirt bike, who knows how this bike's going to feel with that?
Big traction guy. But you did save weight on the battery. Thank God.
We did save weight on the battery. Custom seat from Saddlemen.
That clutch doesn't even feel that bad. It
Feels
actually
great,
feels pretty
huh?
good. Yeah. Dude, it looks good. All right, Rich, you want to give us a breakdown?
Sure. We got a 1995 Sportster we picked up from Fast J. Wheels by W. 2005 450 front end, sprung and valved by Race Tech, along with the rears. Rears are 17 and a half piggybacks.
So is that kind of the same setup that James and
Yeah,
Mark are running
we're
too?
all fortunate enough to have the Race Tech support. So that's who we use, and they're local.
your exhaust looks quite a bit different than...
Yeah, we had our exhaust was built by Stealth. This is the prototype, the HHP pipe. We call it the High Hoops pipe. Hopefully they'll go into production soon.
It looks like it would burn the shit out of
It
your
does
leg.
not. Believe it or not. Maybe if you're under 6 feet and weigh less than 250 pounds, that may burn you. But everyone that rides this bike is over 240 pounds, over 6'1". We're also running the flex handlebars. What else we got here? Our rear sets were built by...
Dude, this probably makes a big difference.
I don't know any different. I learned how to ride desert on this bike 2 years ago. So I'd never ridden in the desert till I ridden a Harley.
Dude.
So this is my experience.
How gnarly is
Joe
that?
taught me.
Joe taught you how to do it?
Well,
dude, that's
he'll
gnarly.
still say I don't know how, but he taught me how to do it.
Dude, that's crazy, man. So, looks like you got a massive skid plate under there.
Yeah, the skid plate was also built by Competitive Racing Frames, Jim Bandelin. He also did our rear sets, which were custom built by Jim and a couple other friends, Mike and Josh. We have a lot of friends that are very talented, and we're lucky they helped us with this. This was all just the love, passion of riding motorcycles, people to help us build this.
All right, let's talk about your passion a little bit. Joe, come on over here. So, you and Doug are going to share the riding duties?
Yes, we are.
How does that go? Because Doug is a little bit shorter than you.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, but the whole bike is a small. I mean, I'm huge on that thing.
Yeah. So, we were talking about it just on the, on the podcast that broke the internet. You can't really maneuver these bikes around like you normally would, like a dirt bike, right?
Not at all.
So what's the move? Like, you lean back? Do you just hold on? Are you just like a passenger?
And those soft whoops, the sand and everything, you got to keep that front end down or front end up a little bit and keep the gas on, because as soon as you let out the gas, that front end just dives and sucks you in.
Dude.
No coming back.
All right, we got David just commented in. So, good day to make from Australia. Desert Racers. Probably not Dakar, though. Yeah. I don't know, but these things would make it through Dakar. Yeah. But just making it through the Mint 400 seems like a
lucky
feat.
Enough to get through the Mint.
Yeah. So we already talked to Mark a little bit about him completing the Mint. Have you completed a Mint 400?
A few times.
2. Dude.
Yeah. How many times you raced it?
2.
Look at this guy. Dude, 100%.
Both times on this bike.
Really?
First time we took 5th. Second time we took 3rd.
Dude, that's so crazy. It's pretty crazy to see, though. And, like, what was the, I don't know what you want to call it. What was the catalyst behind you getting into it?
A dumb idea, like Mark said. And it was just, we seen him. Rich and I started talking and said, let's see if we can get some money together and build one. And we got it together and off we went.
Actually, that's a good question as well. So, how much does it cost to build one of these bad boys?
That'd be the man to talk to right there. He's got all the paperwork.
Well, it depends how much money you have.
Hey, nice shirt, by the way. I like it.
Yeah, thanks. You can build one for, like, I don't know, what, $3,000 maybe? You just need wheels, really, suspension.
I'm not even telling people that.
If you want to ride, we were just very lucky.
Fire road, $3,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It just depends. It's no matter what you do to it, it's going to ride like you're riding a brick. It feels like you're riding a fucking brick.
And this probably is version 2, right? Compared to what the first Mint 400 bike was? Or
This
is it
is exactly the same.
Nothing's changed.
We were very fortunate. We had a friend who asked why we weren't racing the Mint, and I told him we didn't have the funds, and he had a lucrative farming business at that time, and he funded the project. And thank you, Luke, Butte Pack House. Pretty much that's what you see here. He said, whatever you want to do, let's make it happen. And we're very fortunate and lucky to have a bike of this caliber.
It is so sick. The big red and white Chevy. Yeah, it is super sick, man. Mark, since we already broke the internet, you want to come give us a breakdown of your bike?
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking smoked. It's going to be as smoked as James' bike.
Well, you got a headlight, so you're already way ahead of these guys.
Yeah, it works too.
Pow. Thanks for blinding me. Now I can't see. All right. So we already talked about it a little bit about this on the show, but since this will be another post, give us a little bit of a backstory on how this all started and then break down your bike.
The Hooligan Enduro stuff started by someone calling me and making me do this, even though I didn't really want to. Then we ended up building a bike, and my bike, the first one I built, wasn't built the best I could, and I kept like fucking it up and blowing it up, and literally I think I blew up 2 motors, like cooked fully. Like the last one, I had a temp gauge, it blew up at like 360 degrees in the middle of the desert. And then I realized that I needed to build a new bike. So I started from scratch, ended up building this beautiful concoction with a lot of help from a really awesome companies.
Yeah, totally. But this is kind of what, I don't know, bred the whole, I don't know, what do you call it? The hooligan racing.
Yeah, hooligan, the enduro stuff. Yeah, my bike's a little bit different than most. I was fortunate enough to get in contact with someone named Carducci who builds like really, really, really high-end Sportsters. He designed this tank in collaboration with IMS, and that tank is a 5-gallon tank that's made for Sportsters. So I kind of have a cheater tank.
I mean, the tank is nice.
Yeah,
you can just
actually,
bypass the pits.
Yeah, it's really slim too. I really like the way the tank is.
How do you grip right here?
You don't.
You just hold on with your arms?
Yeah, come
dude,
right
you must
here.
get so much arm pump.
Oh yeah, the arm pump's unreal on these things.
Oh yeah, and he cooked you up with a badass logo.
Yeah, these are like my signature seats on all my bikes.
I mean, that does seem pretty comfy. Better than motocross seat.
Yeah,
huh?
so another thing with the Sportsters is you get a little bit more suspension with how thick the seat is. I know it sounds a little goofy, but it definitely saves your ass when you're in the middle of nowhere and you're rolling every whoop.
Yeah, because you ain't trying to muscle this thing around, huh?
You get tired after doing it once.
It looks like pretty, I don't want to say basic moto setup.
Yep, 18 rear. When we do 21 front, it's just pretty much a dual sport wheel setup, laced up to a stock Sportster hub.
Yep.
We have W give us the XLs and 40 pole.
Looks like you got some new meats, too.
Yeah, we're stoked on these. I'm definitely amped on that.
Dude, yeah. And those are like a normal dirt bike tire, too, right?
Yeah, 18. Should be an enduro tire.
Oh, right there, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Do you guys run protection inside the tire?
I don't run protection. I'm not good at that. This might be the first year I'm actually going to use protection. So I've never ridden bibs before. It's all new to me. Everyone swears by them, and I just...
And put like 16 bead locks on that thing?
Yeah, 16 bead locks, and it's like $6,000 for a set of moose bibs.
All right, we'll get the boys over here. We'll just talk to them a little bit, and then we'll sign off, dude. These things are sick, man. Like you just coming through and like starting all this stuff up, it's pretty sweet, dude. All right, boys, let's come over here by the bike so I can talk to you guys a little bit. So, yeah, go over here, Doug. Get in tighter, Doug. Cruise over here. If I bring the beers over here, will you guys stand over here? Well, this will be cool because we can see all Mark's jerseys in the background too. So, yeah, we got a bunch of guys commenting in now. So finally, super sick bikes, man, super rad. Yeah, it's just insane. But Noah, so tell us a little bit about your next races.
Right, the Mint 400.
And for anybody that doesn't know, Noah also does pro rodeo shit. So I feel like that's the advantage right there, honestly. Riding this fucking big ass bike.
I guess that's probably the reason why I didn't wad up last year.
Have you finished a Mint then?
No. Last year I made it 41 miles.
Is your bike comparable? Similar?
It's similar to Mark's, like it's right under. Got the race tech suspension, front and rear. Got the big dog gas tank. I mean, I got the smaller motor, which, I mean, he says that's better.
Whiskey's asking if anybody's having a second pit for gas.
If he shows up.
Oh, there you go, right there. And then Bolly Rod said these are animals. Yeah, dude, 100% animals. Like, I can guarantee you that I wouldn't even be able to, like, take this bike to the starting line, let alone finish a race with one of these bad boys. So what's the move then? Just pace yourself?
Yeah, I'm going to pace myself. Last year, I broke something in my wrist or my thumb or something. But like Mark said earlier, I went off that first roller and just sent it way too hard. I had pretty much stock front suspension. My thumb just snapped backwards and went straight through that handguard. I was like sideways. I'm surprised I even held on and rode out of it. And then the next 41 miles after that were just excruciating.
Dude, I can only imagine. Well, dude, kick some ass out there. But we'll see you guys out there. We got a couple questions and comments in here. I don't know. DGen64 said, Doug for the win. Dude, he's already claiming. Dude, that's what Noah did?
Yeah, off the start. It was gnarly.
Dude, and mind you, that's 450 pounds of motorcycle.
It's fucking crazy.
Holy shit.
His whole arm goes through the handguard.
Try to shove your arm in.
His
Dude,
arms
look at that.
His arms through the handguard.
Dude, I'm surprised you still have an arm.
Yeah.
That's wild, dude. Holy smokes.
I saw that
Look
on the
at,
side.
you can see it wrapped around.
Dude, that is
forearm.
insane. I can't believe you stayed on. Good thing you're a bull rider.
Yeah.
I think maybe that did.
It just
help
gets
us.
worse and worse.
All right, Doug. So,
Shout out to Deegan for your checks in the mail, by the way.
oh, perfect.
Thanks for that.
Yeah. Let's see here. And then, smallest motor weight savings, seems like it would be an advantage. Dude, I don't know if that would be an advantage.
It's
John
the
Lewis.
exact same 800 to 1200.
Yeah.
It doesn't change anything. 883s are actually heavier because the cylinder's sidewalls are thicker.
Well, and let's just say if you save 10 pounds on the motor, I feel like it's not going to help you at all.
Okay, so for this class, like you could save as much weight as you want on the bike, but guys like us don't save on the belly, so they really doesn't fucking matter.
Compensate.
It literally don't matter.
So
really doesn't matter.
it makes no difference.
Pieces of pizza.
Yeah. And we're all in the dumpster together.
Just crushed all the pizza from Costco. All right, I'm gonna get a charger from my.
My first thing was to grab pizza.
I'm gonna get a charger from my phone, and then we'll continue talking to Doug.
The Clydesdale class, everyone has to weigh in.
Yeah. Heavyweight.
Dude, that's going to be the new rule for next year.
If you don't weigh 200, get the fuck out.
They do that with the squad moto live series. It's the Clydesdale class. 220. That's fucking awesome.
I don't want to be 220. And that's
On a good day.
That's a
Brian are gonna have to ride doubles.
All right, we're all charged up now. So, all right, Doug. So, what's the move? What's the move for you, man? So, you're gonna share the seat with Joey?
Yeah, sharing the seat with Joey.
I feel like that's honestly a fantastic idea. Like, really is. Like, one of the best ideas I've actually heard all day.
Yeah.
Did I tell you about the ATC Sportster idea, though? That's a good idea.
Okay, well, look at that picture. Pull it up while Doug talks about the plan for him and Joey.
Yeah. So, yeah, Rich raced it the last 2 years, and he asked me if I wanted to race it this year. And basically, after.
You gave it to him?
Yeah. I raced him in a couple times with Ryan Edwards on a 450X, and watching Mark basically just drinking 805s on the side of the track. I'm like, dude, these guys are a bunch of idiots. Like, why don't I just get a dirt bike?
Dude.
And now look at me. Eat my words.
Yeah.
So
Welcome to the dumpster.
yeah. But yeah, I race Hooligan flat track, so it's right up my alley, and I know all these dudes, so it'll be fun. And
Yeah, I want to come see one of those Hooligan flat tracks, actually.
yeah, it's a good time, and this is gonna be a good time too. Just gotta ride.
So we already asked like the other guys, like what's the biggest difference that you feel? I'm gonna ask Joey the same question between like an enduro, like a CRF 450X compared to that.
Everything. Like everything.
200 plus pounds.
So I guess technically speaking, the 200 plus pounds, but then every single other thing feels different.
Everything. It's unbelievable. Like, so we got this. I rode this bike before. We got this oil tank here, and it felt like I was giving birth.
Oh, so it's way skinnier
Yeah,
now?
so this one made it a little bit more like a dirt bike, but still nothing like.
Do you guys pinch right here at all, Joey? Can you guys pinch with your legs?
try?
Well, your legs are also probably up here when Doug's are down there. So
Yeah, exactly.
Try to get up and hold on to here as tight as possible
Yeah.
with my knees.
But you can't compare it. It honestly feels like you're Olympic distance skier when you're riding these things, and I don't know, it's just fun.
what about going through a corner?
You try to mimic just putting your nuts on the tank, sticking.
Well, so like, okay, well, on a dirt bike, you lay the bike over and you carve it as hard as you can. I feel like this, you do it more like a street style corner where you're kind of just like trying to round the corner.
Yeah.
A lot. It lays itself over.
And you,
And it never gets back up.
Yeah. But honestly, flat tracking comes into play with these things too, because you just kind of steer with the rear wheel. I feel you don't really lean.
so
Kind of.
yeah, I guess that's right. You like. You do drive with the rear end, like, right? Like you're moving it around. That does seem like it would actually help quite a bit because then you're not relying on all the weight on the front.
Yeah. So it's just really just finishing the race. I think you win.
Dude,
This race.
I could only imagine. Well, and yeah, and then Joey, you've already finished it twice, like you were saying before. What's the?
Must be nice.
I know, dude, 100% finish ratio so far. What's the stuff that goes through your mind though, like when you're out there? Because like, first of all, it's a feat in itself to be able to do it, right?
Yeah.
And second, like you also have a teammate that you got to give the bike to.
Yep.
So
My goal is just steady pace and just go. Not worry about anybody else, not worrying about hauling ass, just steady pace and go and make sure the bike gets back safely to him.
I wish more people would think like that because I doubt that you guys think that same thing, right?
I'm fucking wide open.
Well, I'm wide open to a point,
Yeah,
but I want to get the bike to the finish.
dude.
That's
Yeah.
our biggest goal.
And then so now you're a support mechanism for everybody, Rich. So
Yeah.
like, what's the what's the communication that you have with the guys? And you're just like, all right, like what Joey said, slow and steady, or you guys, you give them like actual desert racing tips?
I don't know shit about desert racing. So all I can tell Dougie is have
That's a TM for you. Yeah.
I have mechanical empathy. Like, think about your bike. Don't run the R's. You're gonna blow this fucking thing up. It ain't a dirt bike.
Yeah, David Van Looy said point and pray.
Go nice and slow, nice and steady, and we put this bike together. And, yeah, and pray. Point and pray.
Yeah, and Jake Pope 616 says, yeah, me and Mark are stupid.
Yeah, Jake's an idiot. Don't ride like Jake Pope. What? Yeah. And then there's pass him on the side of the road.
Actually, so I guess a better question for you guys then is like, what's the vibe afterwards? Like, when are you guys just like, all right,
party
crack them open?
Yeah. He goes home, we party.
Oh. Yeah.
Strip clubs.
Yeah.
Where do we go, Noah?
Yeah.
I mean, you are in Vegas.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah. Rusty Butcher Racing goes home.
This dude's trying to do a rodeo the same weekend.
Yeah.
Club 215 usually.
Oh, that's okay.
Angels, maybe.
Angels?
I don't know.
Dude,
Tuck my towel and goes fuck on.
that's so crazy. And then so like,
And I don't walk for 3 days after that.
dude, I could only imagine. Yeah, so how sore are you guys?
My fucking... Okay, so my last mint, I led 90 miles, and then I thought I had a flat, so I kept pulling over, and then I realized my whole swing arm was falling off.
And mind you, so anybody that doesn't know, the Mint 400 is roughly 400 miles.
No, it's 400 miles for trucks.
Right, okay.
We do half that.
Oh, okay.
It's not as crazy, but we do 2 laps. So yeah, it's still gnarly. So it's 2 laps, loop around.
Yeah.
So I was coming around my second loop. Swing arm's literally falling off. The bolt came off. I realized. I zip tied it. Made it like 2 miles.
Oh, just so it wouldn't come out of the socket?
It was the whole rear end was completely shifting like 7 inches.
Dang.
Like it was almost unrideable. So I made it like 2 miles of this pit, and these guys the workers try to call me out. I got baling wire from them. I baling wired my entire swing arm together and made it like another 4 miles to another pit where the off-road dudes had a bolt. Shoved the bolt in there. Mind you, this is my 3rd minute. I was fucking dragging that bike across the finish line if I had.
No matter what happens, yeah.
So I fucking finished that. I fucking finally finished the race and made 4th on that one.
Dude, Mark
Dude.
came in, the bike, I don't know if you're familiar with the swing bike.
Yeah.
The Harley looked like a Harley swing bike because the back end was over here, the front end was over here, and then it was, it was the funniest thing
I
ever.
rode the worst part of the track with a half a swing arm. Like that 14-mile sand loop section was when it all happened.
Oh, so it's just going all over
Every
the place?
fucking loop, it was like I was riding like a liquid motorcycle.
Dude.
And I was so frustrated because like I've done this for 3 fucking years, and like I always have something that comes up. I had electrical problems, then I blew up my fucking bike the next year. Like I was finishing this bike. The bike ran good. It just the swing arm.
It was that bike right there that you got to it? Yeah?
Maybe one of them. Yeah. I literally like ground almost a hole all the way through the shock from the tire rubbing it too.
Dude, that's...
The shocks are trash. So I made it though.
Do you guys ever have to take breaks like in the middle? Like because you're so tired or no? Or you just like slow down the pace and take a couple deep breaths?
I mean, when I raced it on a 450, I had like a beer in my camel pack and I just kind of pulled it out. And I'm just kidding. Anyway.
So there's the bolt that saved me. And the safety wire, I made it into like a keepsake.
Dude,
so I didn't have
nuts.
the spacer, so I shoved this in there, and then this was the spacer, and then this baling wire. So I kept this forever now.
So next time when you're partying, yeah, bring me my snorkel, some duct tape, and some. I'll fix the bike, get it across the finish line. All right. So the thing that I think is the most crazy is you guys all convinced James Hill to do this. Like
He called me. I don't want to build bikes anymore. I don't.
Yeah,
But
I've
I
been
like
trying to
James,
do this for a
unfortunately.
while. So.
And I told him to sell that bike.
I did too.
so,
I told him.
I actually heard that the bike was somebody else's.
No, I bought it.
I mean, like
I told
your
him to
wife's.
sell it too.
Yeah. He texts me. He goes, "Should I make it a flat track or a desert thing?" I go, "Sell it."
Well, I wonder what it turned into.
And then he called me, and I like riding with him. He's like, we're kind of the same pace, so I figured he would be fun to race with on this.
Yeah,
And
that's what we got.
So what you guys have all had like first timers, right? Like you've helped people start like and jump into the class or jump on these sports cars.
Last year was your first year, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like as the years go on, though, I feel like, okay, he might have got a little bit more love last year because you didn't know as much. And then all of a sudden James comes in. It's like, no, you're fucking doomed.
I built,
like,
5 bikes for people already. Since last year, I built 5 bikes that are on the field, including mine is 6.
So like you said, competitive advantage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Air Dog says you got balls of steel, James. Dude.
It's not about James or us, though. Because James hasn't done anything.
Yeah,
well, the thing.
I heard he has 50 nuts, actually.
Yeah. Good call. I would definitely say that everybody has balls of steel. Some guys more because they've ridden on these things so much. Hey, do you guys stand up or is like sit down or like how? Like, is it more moto? It does.
You do left cheek sometimes. You go right cheek. You kind of lay on the handlebar sometimes. Like literally anything that makes something hurt less for a little while is.
You gotta stand up. Like when you're at the stove cooking your macaroni and cheese, you just gotta do some squats every once in a while, you know? Just get ready. You know, while the water's boiling, just do some squats.
Dude,
I sit all over the entire.
So I want to understand, James. Like, what made you want to even do it?
Well, like I said, just riding dual sports and Mark's on his Sportster, you know, that he's had over the years. And then, I mean, it's just it's different, you know, like we've all ridden dirt bikes. That's super fun, but different is cool in my eyes.
Yeah.
You know? So watching him use it and use it well, it's intriguing, right? It's just like you see your buddy, he's got something, you're like, fuck, that looks like fun. So why not get into that?
So this bike basically just got finished as you were getting pizza. Mm-hmm. So the first ride, Mark got to take it for a rip just out here in the driveway. Yep. And I got to see it. And honestly, like, well, he's got experience, but it looked like it was like a heavy dirt bike. But it looked like when he let off is when all the problems would start happening because all of a sudden it still keeps going.
Yeah, I don't know. I missed that.
Like
I was getting the pizza
like that. So to me, like if you're coming into a corner or a straightaway or a whoop or something, and you don't like think about what you're doing before, you can get yourself in some serious trouble.
And as they say, when in doubt, gas it out.
No,
dude, I don't know.
No, Harley.
When I saw the momentum that he carried,
They do say that.
They say that, but not in our world. So what we say is,
Yeah.
It's kind of a shit subject because I can't see like 20 feet in front of me, but in a Harley, you have to spot ahead or else you're fucked.
Yeah.
So, like I said, we're all in this dumpster together, and like you just kind of
Figure it out.
do the best you can.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Does it make a difference if you're big like Joe or no?
Big trees fall hard.
Yeah, well.
Yeah,
so it makes a difference.
I'm gonna go on a whim and say he's the oldest tree here.
He is. He's got 8 roots.
So this guy,
He's the most mature, though.
he's the mature Brent for sure.
Yeah. He gets to go to Sizzler at half off. Yeah.
So Scott Baker 123-199 said all guys that race dirt bikes have balls of steel. Well, I'll agree with that, but I think there's a little bit different aspect of racing on these bikes. That's for sure.
It's really undescribable how to race these things. You just kind of got to build one and go do
The
it.
main thing, you gotta be stupid.
Yes. You gotta be stupid.
I feel like that's the, yeah. But honestly, it looks like it's so much fun. Like, it really does. And that's why I asked you those questions, James, is because whether you make it to the finish or not, you're already having fun with your friends. And then you will have a shitload of fun while you're out there at the track.
And you know, like, this is still a 92 Sportster with a license plate that's not on it currently, but you can ride it around the street as well.
12 o'clock, boys.
It was fun.
Yeah, it's still kind of like a dual sport, just a heavy ass one.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you do leading up to it then? We talked about it while the podcast was on a little bit before we killed the internet, but you're going to go out there and try to practice a little bit beforehand? Because you've seriously had, like, maybe 0.1 miles on this thing.
Yeah, rode it around this shop 2 times earlier. So, yeah, try to ride it a few times this weekend and work more bugs out of it.
So it needs a little bit of jetting, though?
That's for him to figure out now. I got it to this point. $0 made.
Hey, so we already got a taker. So Air Dog, Aaron Quintero said that if you feel like stopping, he'll be your backup.
Okay.
So bring some gear, Air Dog.
Okay.
Dude, yeah, I think it's super cool that you guys are doing all this stuff, man. Like I was telling you guys on the beginning of the podcast, I feel like this puts new energy into desert racing specifically, right? Like back in the day, Baja 1000 started because people wanted to race down the peninsula.
Yeah.
They didn't have directions. All they had was some will and a truck, right? And probably a shitload of beer. And then the Mint 400 kind of started the same way. And now I feel like pulling all of this custom stuff and starting a new little culture is exactly what the culture of off-road needs.
With that being said, to take it away from the Mint, but like to Built-Well, I mean, it's kind of put on from this, correct?
Yeah, the Built-Well guys.
Yeah, so say a little bit about that stuff.
The Built-Well guys did the Nora 1000. That's where we modeled our bike off of them and Mark. It's like we took him, Mikey, all their ideas and made them our own. But Built-Well, they started this for me personally.
The
I don't know about you guys, but the El Frijole, yeah.
So did they make it all the way down?
Yeah, they finished the race. 1,000 miles on a Harley Sportster.
Did they do it in the time frame?
Did they? I think so.
Yeah.
Bill, did you finish?
Yeah,
I believe so.
Yeah, I think they did. They did it.
Was it a peninsula run or was it a loop? Do you know?
It was all the way down.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's sick, dude. You guys are kick ass, man. Talk about balls of steel, right?
They did a
Shout
four-man
out to
team,
Bill.
Yeah.
250 miles a day each one.
Really?
Yeah.
How, dude? I feel like that is. You guys want? Oh, so it's happening here. Get a couple more sponsors.
But that tells you right there, like, just so once again, like taken away from the Mint, but to go to do for those guys to start a race because they're into Harleys and like that's their thing, you know, it's a whole nother piece of that. They didn't just go like, hey, we're gonna go run a Grand Prix for desert bikes.
Yeah.
They're like, yo, this is what we do, and then everything else follows that. So
Yeah.
that's pretty large too.
Dude, I think that's so cool, man. So how many guys do you think will start the Mint 400 this year?
I typically get about 20.
Or should I say, like they said, how many idiots will start the Mint 400 this year?
We typically have about 20 dumb shits in our class, and typically about 5 people finish.
Dude, that's crazy. Has the ratio gone up through the years?
It's kind of bounced around 20. I think.
No, the finishers though.
It's 5 or 6. It's about
Really?
5. Yeah.
Dude, that's wild.
The
Oh, and
bikes just get-
this guy's one of them.
Yep. Yeah, honestly, they built a bitchin' bike. This thing's, like I always tell everyone, like the bike should sound like a sewing machine, and if your bike sounds like a sewing machine, that's a good thing.
Dude, it looks good too.
Sounds quiet.
JB Will.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. Do you guys have pit crews and stuff too that handle like the Phillips and everything, or like how does all the logistics work?
Normally, I build bikes till about the day before the Mint, and I don't remember anything until we get there, and then I realize that we need a pit crew.
Yeah.
So I've actually never been fortunate enough to do that. Luckily, like some of these guys and their friends have helped me, but now one of them's racing with me, so I don't.
So now we really
No,
need
no,
whiskey
we
to
don't
step
have a
up.
pit crew.
So
Yeah.
now,
We all just help each other, though. We all help each other.
Yeah.
It's just the
So
way it is.
just so you know, like we've got some other friends racing dirt bikes at the Mint. So
Sissies.
hold on. So there is going to be our friends out there that'll have some gas.
Why do you say
cans.
friends? Are you mad at them?
No,
No, because he wants to make sure that he's on a good
I don't
level.
have a gas tank that'll go the whole race.
He needs to suck up now so that he can get the gas when he's out there.
Yeah, if anyone wants to pay for our gas too, that'd be nice.
I just think it's so cool that you guys are doing it. All right, we're gonna get ready to sign off. You guys got anything else to say or any last words?
Yeah, thank you.
Know what I mean?
for having us.
I mean last words like we might not see you again. Yeah, sayonara, boys.
It's a hell of a ride.
If any of you guys want to get into this, we have an Instagram, Rusty Butcher Racing, the
Yeah.
racing Instagram.
Yep.
If you hit me with questions or whatever, I tend to answer most stuff on there. I have a lot of build videos on there, like of how to do things. My goal is to spread awareness,
Yeah.
get people into the Harley racing thing, and help you guys get to the races and shit like that. I try my best to do that, but if you have any questions or whatever, hit me up.
And that's exactly how side-by-side racing started. I know we do a lot of side-by-side stuff. It's cool to see these guys doing other stuff, but all these people are starting to help. In fact, DGen64 said Chase Fueler 69 will be in the action too. So it sounds like you guys will have some fuel
He's the man.
help too. So, all right, boys.
All right.
Thank you.
It was nice knowing all you guys.
Yes, sir.
El Cortez, room 69, 2 o'clock Thursday.
Oh, perfect. Training. You're going to hydrate. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for watching and checking it out. Sorry for all the internet problems. But yeah, always follow the show, share the show, and have fun. See you guys out at the Mint 400. Later.
Thanks for listening to The Dirt Life Show. See you next week.